I would like to show you how local search can also be used for solving scheduling problems, because that's a little bit less intuitive, that it can also be used for scheduling problems. And the kind of move that we will apply are quite special. So here I have a problem in which I have activities that will execute for a given amount of time that is represented by the duration, and they will consume some amount of resource that is represented by the height of the rectangle. And so the goal is to place all the rectangles so that the cumulative profile here at any time you do not violate a given capacity. Okay? You do not violate the capacity. So it's like if you would project the height of all the rectangles, then you will compute a profile. Okay, you just sum here all the overlapping rectangles. So for instance, you take this line, then clearly you need to add the height of the rectangles that overlapping here, and then you get this, right? So you don't want it to exceed the capacity C. And the goal here is to minimize the make span. You want to finish all the activities as soon as possible, okay, without exceeding the capacity of the resource. And of course, once you start an activity, you cannot interrupt it. You need to continue until the end of the activity. The algorithm that we'll use for solving that problem is I-flat, R-relax. It's a two-step algorithm. First, we will flatten the profile, which means that we will add artificial precedences in the problem until the capacity constraint is satisfied. Okay? And we will assume that each activity starts as soon as possible while satisfying the precedence constraint. Of course, doing so, we have a feasible solution, but it might not be optimal. So we will relax a little bit this solution by removing some precedence randomly on the critical path so that we can improve the total execution time, so the make span of the problem. This is what we call the make span, right? The final time at which you finish the schedule is called the make span. Let's see visually what it gives. So I have a solution here, right? I have a solution, and if I compute my solution here, I can compute a precedence graph. So I will add an edge on the precedence graph between any pair of activities where I have a precedence in the solution. So activity 0 is an artificial one that precedes every one of them. So you see that 4 is before 6, so I add an edge for 6. 6 is before 2, I add an edge. Okay, and so on. So I have an edge everywhere here. And if I compute the critical path, so the path that cause the make span value, so the longest path from here to the one at the end, I've got what we call the critical path. On this path here, if I would keep these precedences, I would not be able to improve the make span. So it's important that we relax some of the precedences that we have here. Okay, and so the idea during the relaxed part is that we will randomly remove some edges on this critical path, and we will reschedule everything. Okay, we'll reschedule everything as soon as possible. But once we do that, so we have removed this precedence 6, 2, and you see that now 2 is able to be on top, placed on top of 6, and that would improve a little bit the make span. The problem is that because of this, I have now a violation of the capacity, which was 20. And so I need to flatten what we call the flatten, and that's the second step of the algorithm. I need to flatten this solution by adding again some precedences to make sure that we keep the capacity satisfied again. So I may add, for instance, precedences between 3 and 6. Okay, if I add a precedence between 3 and 6, 6 will now be placed after 3, so here, and this one will be able to fall back again. So that will give, for instance, this. Okay, and now I satisfy my capacity, and this solution is better. Of course, you do that a lot of times, and always you will introduce some randomized relaxation on the critical path. So you will really iterate between the flattening and the relaxing step. Okay, that's the I-flat, I-relax algorithm.